So, welcome to the final week of Introduction to Problem Solving. This week, your final project is due, and it is due by Sunday, 11:59, the 1st of April. Realizing this is Easter Sunday, it's a class requirement, school requirement that all of your missing assignments, all of your assignments due for this week are turned in by 11:59 on Sunday, the 1st of April, Easter Sunday. So I want to do a little quick review of what I'm looking for in the introduction to problem solving and for your final project. So agenda, we'll take a look at the final project, system design section, user interface diagrams, flowchart, pseudocode, narrative analysis, making sure it's an APA format, and looking at your final project's rubrics. So I want you to, for the final project, I want you to refer back to Module 1 and utilize your 6 steps of problem solving to approaching this project. So what the problem is, you have a local cake shop has seen a recent surge in business, and it has asked you to help design a system to manage the orders. The shop currently has the capacity to make up to 4 cakes per day, and a cake can be stored up to 3 days prior to an event. To avoid last-minute disasters, the shop will always make cakes at least 1 day prior to the event. The shop currently has the capacity to store up to 10 cakes. Standard policy is to block out 2 hours for delivery and setup at each event. The shop currently does not have the staff to handle more than 1 event at a time. So, for your project, you are to design a system that will manage customer orders and event scheduling. Consider all the factors listed in your design carefully. So, problem analysis. Here's the problem. Data given in the problem provided by the user. These can be known values or general names of data such as price, quantity, and so forth. Processing required. In section 2, requirements for the output reports. This includes the information needed and the format required. And section 3, processing required, is a list of processing required. This includes equations or other types of processing such as sorting, searching, and so forth. And the final section, section 4, is solution alternatives. List of ideas for the solution of the problem. So in your project, you should include an analysis chart, given data, hours, pay rate, processing required, gross pay equals hours times the pay rate, and required results. Gross pay is solution alternatives. Define the hours worked and pay rate at constants. 2, define the hours worked and pay rate as input values. So you should have a user interface diagram in your final assignment. So create a user interface that will show all the pertinent information to the cake shop employees. This could be a simple table with all the pertinent information about the problem. In your final document, your final project, you should include a flow chart. So this is just an example of start by putting a tea bag in a cup. You boil the water boiled, yes, pour water in the cup, want sugar. Typical flow chart for a solution to your problem. And then you should have the pseudocode. So this is just an example of pseudocode. You program to make the tea, you put the tea bag in the cup. You should have your pseudocode for your problem in your final assignment. Back one. So in your final assignment, you should have a narrative analysis. Your narrative analysis, you write an analysis of the process and identify any bottlenecks. If you were the cake shop owner, which bottlenecks would you address first, assuming price is not a factor? explain your decision. Your analysis must be a minimum 1,000 words in APA format, excluding the title page and references. See the final project rubric in the course Blackboard for the final project. So parts of your narrative analysis, minimum components you need to have in your assignment. You need to have an analysis chart. You need to have a user diagram, interface diagram. You need to have a flow chart. You need to have pseudocode. And your narrative analysis should be at least a minimum of 1,000 words. So again, I refer back to the APA format. Make sure it's in the APA format. Check out the Southwestern Writing Center or the Purdue OWL website for APA format. If you have any questions on that, please feel free to reach out to me. So if you have any questions about the final project, I know it's due on Sunday, which is Easter Sunday. You have all this week to work on it. Please shoot me an email and I will respond or give you a call and talk you through whatever issue you're having with designing the final project. Anyway, everybody have a good last week and have a good Easter weekend next weekend.